Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to another week of the Pokemon Switch Draft League. Sorry about those technical difficulties last week. Like I said at the beginning of the season, it's a new setup using a different computer. It's a Mac instead of a PC, so while I'm not saying one's better than the other, it's just it is an adjustment because it's sort of like going to a country where the steering wheel is on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side of the car. Like you're still driving a car, but everything is a little different. Apparently last week, some of those issues that occurred in the original posting of my video was I hit the space bar, and apparently in the Mac version of OBS, I don't know if it was in the PC version, maybe I just never encountered it, but definitely in this version of OBS, if I hit the space bar, it pauses the recording. So, that was on me. I didn't know that was a thing. Therefore, when I am not typing, like right now, for example, I'm going to turn off my keyboard so that when I hit the space bar, there is no pausing. That way, if I accidentally bump into it during the recording, it doesn't mess things up. Honestly, knowing that it's something that simple, it's amazing we've made it. We made it 6 previous weeks without me doing that. But like I said, I'm going to try to take precaution to keep that from happening going forward. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I mean, I am human, so odds are I'll forget and do it at one other point, but hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully it'll be like next year. Like, after not doing it for a year, forgetting that's a thing, you know? But anyway, now we got that out of the way. We got some good matchups this week. Let's see where these end up. This first one we have is one of our big ones today. We have a couple big ones today that are going to really shake up the standings. Like, teams can go anywhere from 1st to, like, 5th, depending on winning or losing today in a lot of these matchups. That second matchup on the list in particular being one of high interest amongst the league, not just even those two teams. But first and foremost, for this first matchup, we've got, if I can find the logos, the Shuckle Squad and the Fairmont Flygon. This will be a big one. Obviously, I would like my team to win as far as me having a shot at winning the league. But I'm going to do my darndest to try and win for the Shuckle Squad because I want to show that I'm better than the computer. It's been a rougher season in that regard. The opponent's been a little trickier to deal with, and I've also just had a lot of really bad luck. With like critical hits versus things not hitting, etc. So let's see how this goes. Let's see. I don't know what the game's going to pick to throw out first. So, I'm trying to look at my TV over here and see what we got. Because I don't have logos covering the screen on my end. Like on the TV, I mean. So, Machamp's really good against 2 Pokemon. Kind of bad against the other 3. Poliwrath, kind of the same thing. I think it fares better against Flygon than Machamp does anyway. So 3 that it can fight. Gengar is super effective against a lot, but like the ones that's super effective against like Latios are bulky. We don't want to throw Zapdos out there first because then it's just going to put Flygon out there. Plus Zapdos has been the best Pokemon on this team. And Blissey would be great for, again, kind of half the Pokemon, because, like, Flygon is sort of half special, half physical. Well, with that rundown I did, Poliwrath was the one that I think had 3, if I said that correctly, so it had the best number. So we're going to go with that. I didn't even pay attention to the timeline. I was getting close to running out of time there, but I think Poliwrath is our best one to start because it's good at least against half the things. We'll see where it goes from there. Give me a quick drink here. Oh. Why am I drinking out of a 2-liter? Because it was cheaper than buying cans this last grocery visit. Alright, so Latios first. That's not super great for us. I mean, we do have the Darkest Lariat, but I don't know if that'd do enough damage to one-shot. Like, Latios would probably survive and just Psychic us. I think Blissey's our only thing that can, like, semi-take a special move. I think it does have Aura Sphere, but surely it didn't pick that against the Poliwrath, right? Okay. You never know with this game, but just saying. Wow, Blissey tanked that like a champ. We're going to get a Calm Mind up, because if we can't survive an Aura Sphere, like more than one Aura Sphere, we're not going to win this matchup anyway. Okay, Blissey's got a shot to set up and really run wild with this now. I'm going to get greedy and go for one more just because I assume they're going to switch anyway. I guess I could have healed, but we only get so many soft boils. Okay, so yep, the game understood what was happening and went for the physical monster. Now, there's two lines of thought here because we are not great on the physical defense side. We could go for Tri-Attack, because the game almost always goes for Autonomize first. We could go Tri-Attack and see if we just get lucky enough to get the burn, because then that would cripple Aggron. Or I could play it safe and switch out. I'm going to play it safe and switch out just because I know that Machamp is 4 times effective against the Aggron. And after seeing how well the Blissey took the Aura Sphere, I don't think we're going to have trouble switching it back in the future to a special hit. There's the Autotomize, like I knew it was going to do. To be fair, I pretty much do that every time I put Aggron in, too. In some games, it's Rock Polish. Some games, it's Autotomize. It just kind of depends on what the game has. We're going to Dynamic Punch unless they feel like staying in there. I would imagine they're going to stay in there. I'd be surprised if they didn't. But you never know. You just never know with this game. Alright, the game throwing away its boost. I mean, I guess that's fair. Aggron still has full health right now. But I don't think I've seen the game switch too often when it gets a boost. Big hit from the Dynamic Punch, though, considering it was not very effective. But we get the confusion up. We are going to have to switch again, though, because, again, it's going to outspeed us, and unless we're going to rely on it hitting itself in confusion, we're in trouble there. What I will do this time, though, is I'm going to use the turn from switching to Soft Boil, if they are just going to switch back into Aggron again. Because that's more than likely what they're going to do. Alright, we're healed back up. They're going to Autotomize or whatever again. Let's go. I guess we'll go Machamp again, since that made him switch last time. We're gonna just go Dynamic Punch again. They're staying in this time, okay. Iron Head hurt, but we get Dynamic Punch to land. Aggron survives with Sturdy. It will be confused, though. So that confusion will be a big aspect of what happens next. Darkest Lariat in case they switch. They're not switching. They do fight through the confusion. If they get a flinch, they get the flinch. Okay. Well, they're still going to have to fight through confusion again to have to get the knockout. Aggron will go down to Machamp via confusion. Alrighty. I'm assuming the game's going to throw Latios back in there. No, it's going Crobat. Okay. Okay. That definitely outspeeds us. There's nothing we can do. We could put Zapdos in. Losing Aggron sucks from the standpoint of trying to fight the Zapdos. That was a bigger hit than I thought that was going to be. Like, that surprised me. Rain Dance set up Thunder. Even if they switch, it'll be nice to have the Rain Dance up. To help Poliwrath. So... Alright, so Flygon is out there. It can't hit us with ground moves because, like, we're in the air. And Fire Blast isn't going to hurt us as much because of the rain. We have Hurricane still, so we're going to Hurricane the Flygon. Better than expected hit, and we got the Confusion on the first try. Flygon hits itself in Confusion. That is huge. That's huge. We're gonna take out Flygon. Get rid of that ground threat. Oh, it's first. They're speed tied. Oh, but it misses the Dragon Rush. Okay. It's a scary moment there for a second, but it went away. They were speed tied. I wasn't expecting that. We might see Regice here. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, because I don't think Latios could do a whole lot. Regice, they're probably thinking Blizzard or Thunder. See, if it was me, I'd pick Thunder because it was in the rain, but the game's dumb enough it might try the 50% Blizzard. So I don't know what to think. Which means I don't want to switch Poliwrath in because I don't know if there's an incoming Thunder. I'm going to go Blissey. Alright, it did go Thunder. Alright, alright. Calm Mind. Because I was gonna say, they're running out of physical attackers. They've got Crobat there, but that's about it. If Crobat goes down, Blissey basically wins this game. Which is why we're gonna switch out. The only problem with switching out is, again, Zapdos took more damage from the Brave Bird last time than I would have thought. Like, I don't want to just keep switching in Zapdos and having it get beat. These two are weak to Brave Bird to the point where Machamp actually just goes down. I could let Machamp go down just to put Gengar in for free. We do have Destiny Bond, which could get rid of the Crobat. Making it so that the remaining Pokemon are special attackers, I believe. That might... Oh, my alarm's going off. That might be the play. I think we put Machamp in, it dies, and then that lets us put Gengar in damage-free. Because Crobat's the only thing that could stop Blissey right now. Other than maybe critical hits. Alright, so like I said, we're going to switch in. Because we could put Zapdos in, but without Rain Up, we could miss the Thunder. And they'd probably just switch anyway. So let's get Gengar in there. See if the game takes the bait and stays in with Crobat. I think Gengar's faster. I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to learn something new if Crobat's faster. Alright, I learned something new. Darn it. That takes that idea out. Maybe Cursed Body stops Brave Bird. Gengar survives. Oh, that's big. Now we will definitely get the Destiny Bond. Alright, what you going to do there, game? You going to be dumb enough to attack, or are you going to switch? If you switch, who are you going to switch into? So we're going to get a freebie of some sort here, no matter what. I think we go Shadow Ball, so that if it's Latios on a switch, it's super effective. It'll still be normal if it's Regice. If the Crobat doesn't switch out, then it kills us, and we get rid of the Crobat. They do switch out. Which one is it coming in? Okay. So I could have maybe gone for Sludge Bomb, see if we could have got the poison. But Sludge Bomb also would not have hurt Latios very much. Just switch Blissey back in. So, yeah. Blissey's the one thing saving us right now. If we didn't have Blissey on the team, I think the other team would have a very strong advantage on us here. Man, Blissey just tanking the hits. They're probably just going to put Crobat back in. We know it outspeeds us now, so the Destiny Bond isn't a thing now. I think it's faster than Flygon, so it would outspeed Zapdos. So I think Crobat just outspeeds everything at this point. So I think we just stay in and... Well, no, what am I doing? I was thinking we had Gengar out there still. I guess Zapdos, because it doesn't have anything super effective on Zapdos. And we'll kind of go from there. I called the Crobat switch back in. Alright, let's see here. The only thing is that Brave Bird did enough damage. I don't feel like we have the luxury to set up Rain Dance here. I feel like if I do that, I'm going to get us beat. So I'm just going to go for Thunder. Okay, we probably could have done a Rain Dance. Oh, that's big. Crobat paralyzed. And we actually took that Cross Poison better than expected. We missed the Thunder. Of course we do. It is paralyzed, though. That's a big deal. Because now it's not going to outspeed stuff like Gengar. I think we just stay in and go for Thunder again. Especially now that we're faster. 0 for 2 on Thunder. Okay, great. Meanwhile, the computer gets a critical hit. Nice. At least it didn't get the poison. If it would have got the poison, I would have been a little irate there. Alright, surely we won't miss 3 times, right? Right? Alright, Zapdos decided to wake up and do something now. Crobat will go down to the Zapdos. You took a lot more of a beating than you needed to, those Zapdos. Come on. We are faster, so I might save Zapdos here for later in the fight if we would need, like, just one big hit at the end. Let's just go ahead and put Blissey back in. I'm pretty sure we win with just Blissey now, unless something terrible happens. Alright, that makes us slower than it, but, like, I'm not that worried. There's a Blizzard. I mean, at this point, unless it freezes us, like, we're probably going to win. I'm going to go ahead and heal up. I could get greedy here, but again, I think we pretty much win unless they get a freeze. Because I don't think a critical hit's going to do it at this point. Alright, so Blissy's going to carry us to victory. I get a second call mine up. 3 for 3 on the Blizzard for the opponent, by the way. Yeah, I think we've got this pretty much. Let's do one more just for the sake of it, and then we'll go at them. Well, I take that back. I'll heal up first and then go at them. And that's part of why I had picked Aggron and Crobat when I picked my Flygon team this week, because I knew I needed to have some physical attackers for Blissey, but once again, the opponent showing that they don't use their Pokemon the same way I use them, so threw away the physical attackers, and that's gonna do it. Looks like Regice is out of Blizzard. Alright, even with 2.5 times attack, our Tri-Attack's not super strong. But at least our defense is so good, like, yeah, we're probably gonna win this. Like, it would take something devastating to make us lose at this point. Alright, one more Tri-Attack should do it. Interesting that the game hasn't missed a single Thunder or Blizzard, huh? Wow, and that's all that a crit did, so yeah, we're good. Regice will go down to Blissey. Alright, Latios is in the game. It's probably going to Aura Spear us, but I don't think we really care at this point. We have Dazzling Gleam, so... Was that a crit? I was going to say. Alright, that's not great. We better try to heal up just in case. I doubt the game will get 2 or 3 critical hits in a row, but you never know with this thing. Okay, there we go. So heal up, and then we'll go for Dazzling Gleam next turn. Alright. We're actually getting close to the time limit. That's funny. That's why we did 5-on-5 for this league instead of 6-on-6, because sometimes the 6-on-6 that happened entirely too often. Alrighty. So we're gonna win with the next Dazzling Gleam pretty much. That's gonna do it. A victory for the Shuckle Squad. I can't remember if I threw Poliwrath in there or not. I don't think I did. Alright, so that is a 4-0 victory. 4-0 victory for the Shuckle Squad, and it is a win for me against the computer. Unfortunately, these last couple weeks, my wins against the computer have cost my own team some victories. But, hey, that's Pokemon for you, man. My team's still 4-4. They still have a shot at making the playoffs. I'll move Shuckle Squad up to 5-2, though, so they're still in contention for the top spots. Which brings us, speaking of top spots, to our next matchup. The Harper's Ferry Haunter and the Mystic Magikarp that for some reason are not showing up on my thing. Why are you not showing up? That's because I have the names wrong. I'm stupid. Us having a Haunter logo and a Gengar logo is really messing with my head sometimes. We got Mystic Magikarp against Nightmare AC is what I meant. Eesh. Come on, brain. Alright. I just realized I don't think I changed the music for the first game either, so whoopsie. We'll continue using Legend 1, I guess, since I already did that once. What? Okay, the game's having a... I don't know what's going on here. CPU's deciding battle rules. What? No. No. What is happening right now? Yes! Jeez. Alright, well. Never a dull moment in this league, huh? Battle communication ending, what? Okay, so, not sure really what happened there, everybody. I'm going to pause the video for a second while we see what the heck is going on there. And I'll resume when we get it set back up. Alright, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what the heck was going on there, but good old technical difficulties, as always. Alright, let's get this thing started. Alright, everything's working fine now. It wouldn't be another week in my league without technical difficulties. Let's see, the owner of this team told me they wanted to lead Hippowdon, so I'm just going to go straight down the list here. I guess in future years we could do 6-on-6 instead of having like a 5-0 as the final score. We do like 5-2 or whatever was left, you know what I mean? That might be an idea moving forward. Let's see. I mean, Sceptile would one-shot it, but Sceptile's not the most defensive Pokemon. We do have the Slack Off to work with. I'm going to try one Fissure and kind of go from there. Interesting, it went for Liquidation because I'm pretty sure that thing has Stealth Rocks. It went for an attack instead of Stealth Rocks. We missed the Fissure. That is unfortunate, but we're bulky enough that we could survive an attack later and heal up. Let's go Sceptile. Okay, now it goes for the Stealth Rock. Interesting. It would have defeated the Hippowdon with a Liquidation. That, I don't know. The game surprises me sometimes with its logic or lack thereof. There's no way they're going to stay in there for a 4 times effective Leaf Blade, right? They have Levitate Pokemon, right? Yeah, they have the Rotom. I'm going to crunch in case it's something like Metagross. Oh, if it's Metagross, that'd be awesome. It's not, but that would have been awesome. Okay. Okay, don't want to stay in there to see a fire attack. Porygon 2 is probably our best bet since Powdon has damage on it already. Let's do that. And then... maybe we'll get lucky and it did Volt Switch. It did not do Volt Switch. Alright, we survive. Its attack is way down. It's most definitely going to Volt Switch now, you would think, right? Well, it's got lessened attack. Judging by what they could bring in... let's see here. Steel. Firefighting. Dark. They're all faster than us. Let's go Trick Room. Porygon survives. We're at least going to get the Trick Room off. Now, what is the game going to put in its place? Oh my goodness, that's the worst one you can put in Trick Room because it's just going to get faster each turn. Which means in Trick Room, it's going to be, like, definitely last every turn. Okay, game. Sandstorm's gone, so we're not dead, actually. Good for us. Psychic. Okay. Again, that's just going to make you slower. I guess it buys a turn of Trick Room up, but still. Alright. Try Psychic again. Pretty good hit. I was hoping for a little bit more. Blaziken will take out the Porygon 2. But now it's going last and its defenses are down. So I would imagine whatever comes in is going to beat it if they don't switch out. Oh, this is actually a great time to heal up Hippowdon because we'll go first. Slack off. Alright, I guess they're buying another turn of the Trick Room up. That works for me because we were healing this turn anyway. It's continuing to get that speed boost. Alright, is this the last turn of Trick Room? It sure is. Alright, let's just Earthquake it since it's already got some damage. Blaziken will go down to the Hippowdon. A lot of questions there if you're Nightmare. Why didn't the game switch into Rotom? Or even Swampert for that matter. Yeah, some questions there. Alright. Well, they've already got their Stealth Rock up, so we know what's coming next. I know it's gonna hurt, but, like, we need something that'll survive that attack. I'd like to save Hippowdon for a couple of our matchups. If we can afford that luxury. Alright, so I'm pretty sure they're going to switch to Rotom Heat, because that's what they did last time. So we're just going to crunch. I could Dragon Dance here, but I don't think one Dragon Dance will make up the difference from two crunches. Because we'd have one hit that was doing 1.5 damage 1.5 times damage versus 2 regular hits. Now the real question is, how do we match up against what's left? So there's the Weavile and the Metagross. Ninetales could beat the Weavile. Raichu could at least do damage to the Metagross, and then we have Hippowdon for the Metagross. So that being the case, I think we just stay in and get more damage on the Rotom. Yep, that puts Rotom in knockout range for anything else that goes against it now. It's a nice job, Sceptile. Alrighty, and the Sandstorm's gone. Put in Raichu. All of his remaining Pokemon don't like Surf, so we'll just use Surf. He does still have the Swampert, but again, like, Surf will hit that fine. Alright, didn't do as much as I'd hoped it would do. I want to kind of save those two. Like, I don't want to put extra damage on them that they're not already taking, you know? Like, from what's left, there's not really a Pokemon, like, with Blaziken being out of the way, there's not really a Pokemon Raichu is, like, absolutely needed against. Although the Surf would be an easy knockout against the already hurt Rotom. I assume this thing's going to use whatever ground attack it has, whether it be Earthquake or Earth Power. Which Hippowdon should take like a champ. But then we're just stuck trying to like Fissure or something. I'm just going to go Psychic and hope for the best. Not great. High horsepower hits. Raichu goes down. So say there wasn't really a great switch in there. Because with rocks up, Ninetales was going to take a lot of damage before taking a hit. Like, it's questionable now. It could be potentially one shot with Earthquake. I'm not sure. Well, we got that, the free Blizzard up. Might as well go for Blizzard. Swampert tanks it. Ooh, I was right to be worried. That hurt a lot. They might switch. I doubt they will, actually. They would have switched last turn if they were going to switch. Alright, Swampert goes down to Ninetales. Weavile. I mean, I guess it is faster, but... Oh, that's right. This Metagross doesn't have Bullet Punch. I was going to say, why not Metagross? But when you don't have Bullet Punch, you don't have Bullet Punch. So, yeah. Alright, it's going Low Kick. I was so hoping we'd survive that because we were going to annihilate it with Dazzling Gleam. Alright, we've got just the Hippowdon left. It's not looking great for us here. Swampert being bulkier than expected did not help. I feel like the way this battle's gone, if we don't fissure, everything's going to survive with like a little bit of health left. So I'm going to go fissure and just hope that, you know, we get lucky. Not a great start. We do get fissure to hit. The big thing now is going to be, can Hippowdon get a chance to heal up? If we get a chance to heal up, then we've got this thing. Because like we could potentially just beat Metagross with straight up Earthquakes. So it's gonna be, can we survive? Can we either get Overheat to miss or Overheat to not do enough damage? Overheat does hit. It is enough damage. Dang, we had a real shot there because we could have, if we could have healed up after it having the attack drop from Overheat, we could have just Ice Fanged it till it lost. So that really came down to if we're going to survive that hit or not. Well, good showing by both teams. Nightmare, congratulations on the win. That puts you at the moment in a tie for first place. You're 6-2, and the Haunter are 5-1. Once again, congrats. That is a 2-0 victory. Just some unfortunate bounces there. At Swampert was bulkier than I remember it being. But 2-0 victory for Nightmare. So right now they've got a shot at the driver's. They'll be in first place if they can get Harper's Ferry to lose later. But first, we have a battle between the Squirtle Squad and the Great Garchomp. Both of these teams at 3-3, trying to move their way up in the standings. Whoever wins this matchup is going to pass Flygon in the standings, who fell to 4-4. So whoever wins this game is definitely helping their playoff stock. So we've got the Squirtle Squad and the Great Garchomp, like I've said. This is an interesting one. What did Great Garchomp bring? No Cresselia this week, and we've actually got a second Articuno sighting. They have not used Articuno much this season. I was told to use Rapidash first. That's the reason I'm just going down the line. But that is very interesting. I did not expect Articuno to be the first Pokemon, like, to be, like, well, first off, to be on the top of their list. That means they thought, like, right away about using it. But instead of Cresselia, if anything, I thought the two would be together at some point. But they're using Articuno instead of Cresselia. So it'll be interesting. This one's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now. I want to see what Garchomp's team looks like when they are not using Cresselia. Got Drapion to start. This Drapion is more physical than special, but we are also physical. We do have the high horsepower. Do I think we can get away with getting a Swords Dance up? Probably not. Alright, we did about half. Alright, it went Iron Defense, so it definitely survives our next attack. It's got Battle Armor, so there's no crits. Let's try High Horsepower again. Good hit. Gets the 10% poison on the first cross poison. We do get the burn though, that's big, so it's not going to do much damage now. Okay. Well, there was a chance it was going to survive the next high horsepower. With that burn, it certainly will not. Unless we just miss. Drapion will go down to the Rapidash. Alright, they've got the Articuno out there. Flare Blitz? We're already poisoned and low on health. Why not? Alright, got rid of half its health, and we burned it. Rapidash, a burning machine right now. There's its signature move, the Freezing Glare. Rapidash will go down. They got some good damage on the Articuno, though. That was big. Espeon might outspeed it. We're just going to go straight into Shadow Ball. It stayed in, okay. The Galarian Articuno goes down. Not really sure what the game plan was there. Huh. I was going to say, the Dusknoir almost always goes for Trick Room. I'm going to call mine. Alright, Shadow Ball. Both sides going Shadow Ball. But we've got that Calm Mind up, so we eat it like a champ. And that's going to hurt the Dusknoir a lot. Not enough to defeat it, but it does hurt it. Alright, we should take it down with this next Shadow Ball. Was that a crit? That wasn't a crit. That did a lot more damage than I feel like it should have. Well, I'll take the knockout, though. Alright, the Steelix is in there. How much more of Trick Room is there? 2 turns. That's not super great. Shadow Ball again. Steelix goes first. It's going to heavy slam us. That's going to hurt a lot. Alright, that's a knockout for Steelix. It's still going to have a turn of being faster. Steelix actually could be a real problem here if they can find a way around the Vaporeon. Rain Dance. Alright, so Azumarill is out there. Water versus water. Now I'm a little tempted not to switch into Raikou because we might have boosted up the Azumarill by accident here. I think we might have Water Absorb. I don't remember. I'm going to go Shadow Ball and we'll see what happens here. Not near as much as I wanted. We do have the Water Absorb, so there's that at least. Shadow Ball again. Okay. Play rough. Doesn't do much. I think we're going to win this game. Well, I think we were going to win with the next Shadow Ball anyway, but that pretty much guarantees it. Alright, Vaporeon out tanking the Azumarill. And just like that, it's down to Steelix to try and win it for Garchomp. If it could get the Raikou and Entei, it might have a chance with high horsepower. But that's if it can get that far. It's going to have to hope our Hydro Pump misses. Okay, our Hydro Pump missed. Of course it did. Surely we won't miss a second time, right? You gotta be kidding me. 80% accurate, everybody. It's been that kind of day for me. Zapdos missed Thunders in the earlier battle. Vaporeon misses Hydro Pump today. Alright, Entei. Flare Blitz. Now, Steelix is weak to fire, but it is physically, like, a physical stalwart. Let's see how much its high horsepower does. Not enough. I think we win this. Unless you're gonna tell me, can Flare Blitz miss? No, okay. Entei for the win. A really good showing by Steelix, though. And that is a 2-0 victory for the Squirtle Squad, putting Squirtle Squad at 4-3. They're hanging in there. Hanging in there. So, good job, Squirtle Squad. Great Garchomp. Still a good team. Just a odd choice in team selection this week. Which brings us to our other really big matchup of the day. We've got the Harper's Ferry Haunter and the Pokemon Power. Power being one of those teams fighting for playoff spots, and the Haunter being one of those teams fighting for the #1 spot right now. Oh, if Haunter wins, they will remain in first place by half a game. If Haunter loses, then Nightmare AC will move into first place by half a game. So, big matchup here. Big matchup. Alrighty. So I was instructed to pick lead Haunter for some reason. So we're leading Haunter because that's the wishes of the team's owner. I don't know when you have, I guess because it's the team mascot. I was going to say we got 4 legendaries and Haunter, but we're leading Haunter, so. Oh, man. We could Destiny Bond. That'd be really funny. Especially with the season Tyranitar's had. If it happened to use Crunch, that'd be really bad to lose it that early. Regirock is interesting here, actually. Because it would get all the same benefits that Tyranitar gets in the sand. Iron Defense. Tyranitar's coming at us with Earthquake. And that does hurt quite a bit. But now we've got the iron defense. Alright, we're going to body press. Oh, the game was it actually saved Tyranitar for once. What do you know? Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, I don't get that one. Sorry, Alakazam. That was a choice. That was certainly a choice. I'm not sure really what else to call that. Huh. Ha ha ha. That was certainly different. Well, that means a Haunter is safe at the very least. Alright, they're going Moltres. We're going to go Stone Edge. It's trying Scorching Sands. Is that enough? It is not enough. Regirock hangs on. That was with a crit, too. And we're going to land the Stone Edge. Moltres goes down in one hit. Regirock surviving with 3 health. This is not looking like a good start for the power. Alright, we're seeing Rhyperior. Body press again if we happen to go first. We do. Rhyperior survives because it's tanky as all get out. It will finally put an end to Regirock. Alright, Sandstorm is gone. And just because I know how slow Rhyperior is and the fact that it's hurt, it's a chance for Haunter to get out there and actually try to do something. Here comes a Shadow Ball. Haunter will get a knockout. I know Haunter does not want anything to do with that. Although since we are ahead in the numbers game, we could go for the Destiny Bond strategy. Dazzling Gleam. Good hit. It's going for another Dragon Dance. I mean, to be fair, it probably needs that in order to try and outspeed some of the later Pokemon on this team here. At this point, it's like too late to switch in because it's basically a free boost this turn anyway. We just gotta keep Dazzling Gleam, aiming and hope it doesn't. It stays greedy and doesn't attack yet. I'm scared. What's that, what's the, Tyranitar at now? Is that 2.5? 2.5, oh boy. Definitely trying Destiny Bond again if we can. Tyranitar uses Crunch. Haunter goes down. Will it count that previous Destiny Bond or not? It will not, so that's a knockout for Tyranitar. I was going to say the Destiny Bond mechanics are a little odd in this game, so I wasn't sure what would or wouldn't. I believe Azelf is technically the faster of our remaining Pokemon. 135, 130, 100. Okay, so we're going to go Azelf. If it can't outspeed the Tyranitar, then none of our remaining Pokemon will. Energy Ball. All we have to do is hit it and we win. Do we get a chance? Tyranitar goes first. This could be bad for us. Azelf goes down in one hit. This is looking like it's going to be a Tyranitar victory here. Our only hope is if something is bulky enough to actually survive a hit and just hit it back. Tyranitar goes first again. There's Crunch. Latios goes down in one hit. We have Trick Room on Mesprit, but we're not going to get to go first. Well, I mean, we wouldn't go first anyway, but like it's going to kill us before we have a chance. But Draining Kiss is not going to help much. I feel like that's not going to be enough to defeat it, even if we do survive. Tyranitar pulling the power from the break of defeat to getting a victory. That's a 2-0 victory. So the Pokemon power moving to 4 and 3. Harper's Ferry Haunter dropping to 5 and 2. So the power finally getting a Tyranitar performance that looked like Tyranitar. Getting the victory there. We've been waiting for Tyranitar to actually look like its old self this whole season. That was definitely it. All right, we've got one more matchup today. We've got the 1-5 Farfetch'd Gardening Club and the 2-5 Captain Spiro's Crew. Now this might not look like a big game on paper, but it really is when you consider the standings. Like some of the teams that are now 4 and 4 or 3 and 4. Whoever wins this game is gonna have a shot to catch up with those teams. Like think about it. Teams that are 3 and 4 will only be half a game ahead of Spiro if they win. Teams that are 4 and 4 will only be a full game ahead of Spiro if Spiro wins. Farfetch, if they win, they're only a couple games behind, and with bye weeks and stuff, could be essentially where Spiro is if they win. So the winner is still going to have a really good shot at contending for the playoffs. The loser will not be eliminated, I don't think, mathematically, but will need to basically have a lot of things happen for them to get in. So this is almost like a pseudo playoff game here between these two. So this will be interesting. All right, I had the random generator for this team had Vileplume coming out first, so it's going to lead. And the game messed up. Okay, give me a second, everybody. I'm going to have to correct this. Not all the Pokemon got selected, as you can see there at the bottom. Hang on just a moment. Alright, I think I got it fixed this time. Again, it wouldn't be a week of the Pokemon Switch Draft League without some sort of technical difficulties, right? So, oh boy. Alright. It should be 5-on-5 this time. Alright, it shows 5 Pokeballs. We got it this time. Man, oh man. Alright, Pelipper and Vileplume. Okay. We don't want to get... Oh, it's going to hit us with Hurricane if it stays in. There's not really anything that I particularly want to get hit by the Hurricane. Energy Ball, so we need to save that for some of the water Pokemon. Will-O-Wisp could be big against maybe Lombre. Then again, we just straight up have Poison Jab. So let's put Clefable in, because I feel like the others are going to have a bigger role. No offense to Clefable. Hurt a lot more than I wish it would have hurt. Moonblast. Let's see who's faster of these two. It's Pelipper. Clefable goes down. Alrighty. Lopunny's fast. Let's put it out there. See, I kind of wish this was the headbutt set from last season, because then we could, like, flinch it into oblivion. Yeah, of course we missed the Mega Kick. That sounds about right. And it gets the confusion on top of that. Alright, can you land Mega Kick this time, or are you going to punch yourself in the face? There we go. On the bright side, at least the rain's almost up. Lopunny also goes down the Pelipper. Although Pelipper has been injured some now. If it didn't have Hurricane, I would just put Vileplume out there for Sunny Day, but I guess we do also have Sludge Bomb on Vileplume, so it could do the role I was saving Sableye for. Alright, us having Shadow Sneak might be big here. I'm going to go for the Poison Jab. Well, wait. Let's go Foul Play, and then we can Shadow Sneak if we're within range to knock it out. We survived, so we are going to get at least a 2-for-1 here. Would have liked a little more damage behind that. There's our Shadow Sneak. I'm not sure another Shadow Sneak would even beat it. Guess we're going to find out, because it definitely outspeeds us. Got it way down in the red, but Pelipper going to get another knockout. A 3 knockout performance for Pelipper so far. Alright, Gardevoir's in. Sharpedo's a dark type, so they could do that switch. So we're going to Energy Ball here. Alright, Pelipper finally goes down. There's Sharpedo. Let's go and protect Speed Boost. Alright, Dazzling Gleam. It's going for Waterfall. Do we flinch or not? We did not flinch. There's Dazzling Gleam. Sharpedo goes down, although it did get a good hit on us. Lombre makes an appearance. It's the other one that can set rain on this team, so they'll probably do that, is my guess. If we don't one-shot it. We did not one-shot it, and yep, there's that rain. Will it be faster than us with Swift Swim? I'm going to switch because I feel like it's going to outspeed us and hit us hard. Okay, well, I don't know if I called that because we weren't in there, but it would have hit us hard if it got the hit. Sunny day. I also turned the tables because Vileplume was twice as fast than Sunny Day. And that'll make water attacks weaker. They'll make Thunder from Lantern not do as much, not be as accurate. So we got a few things going our way here. Sludge Bomb. Vileplume now being twice as speedy, getting to go first, takes out the Lombre. Now the one downside is I do think that Octillery has a fire move. So if it survives one of our attacks, that could be a problem. Giga Drain. It does survive. However, does it have enough with the sun for one hit potential? I'm not sure. We survive. The Vileplume will take out the Octillery. That was close, though. I wonder if Octillery could have had a higher roll and, like, got the knockout, or if it was never going to knock us out, you know? That's a Lantern versus an injured Gardevoir and an injured Vileplume. We have Giga Drain. Alrighty, it's going for agility. The sun's gone, so we do not have the same speed that we just had. Alright, Giga Drain. It's going for Blizzard. It hits. Does it knock us out? It did not knock us out. Vileplume hanging in there. And that's going to be a win for the Gardening Club. 2 in a row. 2 in a row for Farfetch'd Gardening Club. 2 weeks in a row after starting 0-5, the Farfetch'd Gardening Club have now gone to 2-5. That was a good showing by both teams, really. Captain Spiro's crew, I mean, gosh, Vileplume barely surviving the Flamethrower from Octillery, barely surviving the Blizzard from Lantern. But at the end of the day, Farfetch'd Gardening Club is who was standing tall, and they're going to get the victory. All right, I'll be back, everybody, with the updated standings here in just a moment. Hello there, everybody. We're back. I've got all the things updated. I've turned off the keyboard for the moment, so we don't have those issues. So there's our updated standings. We've got the 6-2 Nightmare AC, Nightmare After Christmas, being in first place now by half a game and having the best point differential in the league. They are 6-2 at the moment with 2 games left to play on their schedule these last 3 weeks. Harper's Ferry Haunter and Mystic Magikarp continue their tie where they both lost by the same amount, so they still are tied just like they were coming into the week. They're 5-2, both of them. They do both have the edge on Shuckle Squad, who's also now 5-2, but they're one below them on point differential. So literally a half game difference between first and fourth, showing you how tight this league has been. In fifth place, Squirtle Squad, game and a half behind with a +3 point differential. Sixth place, Pokemon Power, 4-3, 1.5 games behind, 1 point differential. Notice how we've got 3 weeks left and we still have 8 teams that technically could get the 1 seed. That is absolutely insane. My Fairmont Flygon on the outside looking in by half a game right now at 4-4. Great Garchomp being 3-4, so the games behind should be 2.5 there instead of 2, so that's incorrect, but I'll get that corrected in post. Farfetch Gardening Club sitting at 2-5. They are only 2 games out of the playoff race with 3 weeks to go, so very much possible there. And then we already knew Smooch and Merluzum was eliminated. I have not added the E in front of their name like I'm supposed to, but I will. So yeah, that's where things sit right now. Updated statistics. Regice still leading the way for Fairmont Flygon. I would like to announce a couple moves. Fairmont Flygon have officially cut Starmie and added in Electivire moving forward. So we're going to be working with that moving forward. I might make other moves as well. Crobat's Brave Bird just impressed me enough to save it from the chopping block for this week, but that doesn't mean it won't be safe forever. That it will be safe forever. The other move was for the Great Garchomp. They had officially dropped Drapion and added Nidoqueen to their roster. I don't know how much better or worse Nidoqueen will be, but that is a move they have made. Nightmare AC. Garchomp still up top despite not playing today. Blaziken with an impressive 9-3. Rotom Heat's been doing well this season. Big surprises on that team are that we haven't seen a lot out of Metagross or Salamence this season. But again, it's working, so who am I to question it? Great Garchomp tried to go without Cresselia today. Steelix put on a decent showing, but that was about it. Pokemon Power. Rhyperior still leading the way in knockouts. Alakazam got absolutely thrown away by the computer, like it was basically a 5-on-4 matchup. But Tyranitar finally looked like Tyranitar this week, giving the power a little more firepower going into the playoff stretch here. Like the stretch before the playoffs, I mean. Playoff race. There we go. Squirtle Squad. Scyther still the front runner, despite not appearing for weeks, but Entei did a good job, as well as Espeon today. Harper's Fairy Haunter. Regirock, for the most part, carried the team this week before Tyranitar got going for the power. Registeel's still the only Pokemon that's played multiple games, I believe, that has not fainted yet this season. Now, multiple being very loose, it's only played in 2 games, but I think that is true. No, it is one of 2 Pokemon that have played in multiple games that has not fainted yet. We'll actually talk about the other one here in a second. Captain Spiro's crew, Pelipper showing it's by far the most important Pokemon on the team. Lantern also doing very well this season. It didn't do so great today, but it almost came through. It and Octillery both almost had knockouts, but Vileplume just kept barely hanging on. We need to see more Gyarados on this team. Like, that's been the big surprise. Gyarados was the #1 overall pick of the draft, and it's only shown up in 3 games. Smooch and Merluzum didn't play this week, so everything's still the same for them. Shuckle Squad, Zapdos up to 10 knockouts. It is the second or third? It is the 3rd Pokemon to hit the double-digit mark this season. It's just been awesome, although it has missed a lot more Thunders the last couple weeks than I think their owner would like, but they're still going strong. Blissey was the real MVP this week. There's nothing really. Once Crobat and Aggron went down, there was nothing really that my Flygon could do against Blissey. Blissey being that other Pokemon, just Registeel and Blissey, that have not fainted yet this season in multiple appearances. Mystic Magikarp just didn't have as great a game, to be honest, this week. They didn't have a bad lineup per se, just Nightmares just did better. That's all it really was. Not throwing shade or anything, just that happens in Pokemon sometimes. Sometimes you get the all fire versus all grass matchup, and there's only so much you can do, you know? So that's kind of what happened this week. Far-Fetched Gardening Club getting their second win in a row. They're on a hot streak. They've defeated Squirtle Squad, and then they beat Captain Spiro this week. So we'll see what they can do. They're still very much in the playoff race with that win. Captain Spiro is not out of the playoff race yet, but they have some work to do. Well, wait a minute. They might be. Let me check. Yep, we only got 3 weeks left. So actually, with that loss, let's see. The 6th spot has 3 losses. So Captain Spiro's crew can get in the playoffs if and only if. Let's see here. They got 2 more games, so they can get the 4. They can only get in if all the 4-win teams lose out and they win via tiebreaker. I have a feeling that one of these is going to have a matchup against each other. So let's look at Squirtle Squad, Power, and Fairmont Flygon here. Do any of them play each other? The Squirtle Squad play the Power coming up? They do. So it is official that Captain Spiro's crew has been officially eliminated from playoff contention by the smallest of margins. So we've got 2 teams officially eliminated, 9 teams battling for 6 spots now. Honestly, with how competitive the league has been this season, there is some consideration on the board to go to 7. I don't just say that because my Flygon happened to be in 7th, because honestly, Great Garchomp is a good team as well. Scary with that Cresselia. So there is a chance we go to 7. We would not go beyond 7 because I feel like the 1 seed, if you're able to finish the regular season in first place, you need some sort of reward, which would be the bye week. So we always had planned for 6 in the playoffs. We might have 7 depending on how the other owners feel about how competitive it's been this season, but 7 would be the absolute max. We'll try to have that figured out at least by the end of this next week, because I don't want to just make it up like, oh, it's the last week of the season, let's throw it to 7, you know. So we'll figure it out beforehand, but there is some talk about maybe going to 7. 6 for sure, though. So right now, without us making a change, Pokemon Power would be the last team in. Let's see here. Let's look at schedules coming up for this next week. The Fairmont Flygon will be at home in their 2 remaining games. My team definitely needs it for a playoff push. We're playing against the Mystic Magikarp. That'll be a tough one. Nightmare AC playing at home against Shuckle Squad. That'll be another important game because 2 teams trying to get the 1 seed. Great Garchomp will be at home against Harper's Ferry Haunter. Another big game. Haunter trying to get the 1 seed as well. Garchomp trying to stay in the playoff race. Pokemon Power versus Squirtle Squad. They have the same record right now. So again, big playoff race implications. Captain Spiro's crew gets their bye week finally. And then we have Smooch and Merluzum playing at home against the Far-Fetched Gardening Club. Let me check out that Far-Fetched schedule. They could, let's see, how many games are they behind? They're only 2 behind, right? The last playoff spot. They're 2 behind. So if they could beat Smoochum and then somehow pull an upset against either Flygon or Nightmare AC, it's possible that team gets in the playoffs. That would be a heck of a story if they start out 0-5, 6 weeks in, and then down the final 5 weeks do enough to get in the playoffs. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch down the stretch here. But that's where we are for this week. I hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that YouTube nonsense. If you liked what you saw here today, one more thing to bring up I forgot to talk about. I am now 22-18 against the computer this season. The worst record still I've ever had against the computer, despite the computer having some truly terrible battles this season. Some of that are the games, like, for example, the ones where I'm Smoochum. That's probably going to be a win for the computer most of the time. But, and that's not me trying to be mean. I think anyone that's watched can kind of agree with me there. But, we're getting that win percentage up each week. We're winning the majority of the battles. Like this week, we won 3 of the 5, so we're getting it back up there. We might get up to 60 by the time the season's over. We'll see. I think, if anything, my poor record shows how even these teams are, so I'm not just getting really easy victories all the time. But yeah, we'll see how things turn out. I'm excited for these last couple weeks. It's going to be a photo finish, that's for sure. We have some notable matchups coming up. Let's see. I know I already did next week's, but like, for example, Shuckle Squad and Harper's Ferry play each other. Mystic Magikarp and Harper's Ferry play each other down the stretch. Squirtle Squad has the power, which will be a possible playoff spot determining game. Like, there are some interesting ones coming down the stretch here that are going to determine seeding. So, again, if you liked what you saw here today, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that YouTube hullabaloo. And I'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Pokemon Switch Draft League. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.